Hey there, it's me, Lottie, and today what we're going to do is a full moon tarot reading. And I thought that I would focus on my word of the year, which could be for anyone, but in particular I'm going to ask about, where's my word of the year? Balance. So I have been feeling a need to really work on aspects of my life that just don't seem to be in balance in a harmonious sort of way. Like I was talking to one of my friends the other day and I was saying, like, pendulums swing. They're in balance. But that is not the kind of balance I'm trying to be in, that swinging from one extreme to another, where I work myself until I'm exhausted and have to just, fall out and get my rejuvenation. I don't want to work like that. So I'm going to ask for this full moon, what is it that the collective needs to know? I am part of the collective around balance. Maybe there's a message for you as well. I have added some of my crystals here. We have this big selenite wand. We have rose quartz, because we can always use that loving vibration. We also have selenite. This was a gift from one of my cousins, and it is a beautiful, this is a beautiful, it's not just one crystal. It's like, they're all together there. Isn't that beautiful though? And then we have green. That is aventurine. Now, the reason why I picked these stones in particular are for some of the qualities that they can lend to the reading. So this here is our green aventurine. It's in the quartz family. And this, I looked up to see what would be a good crystal that supports balance. And that would be green aventurine. It also helps with strength, confidence, courage, and happiness. It can help with optimism. It also encourages us to get out of our comfort zone, take on new opportunities. It can help keep you calm. It can help with nervous butterflies in your stomach. And it is about enjoying life and sharing the energy and experiences of an enjoyable time with close friends, family. So I thought that would be a great stone to add to the mix. So let's talk about this celestite. It is so beautiful, such a nice light blue. It's gorgeous. And this stone takes its name from celestial. And I know I have it so far up in there because this is a big piece. See on this side? Could you imagine cracking a rock open and finding this inside? I mean, that would just be, that would be amazing to me. Anyway, this is a very high vibrational stone. It works with your third eye and crown chakra. Understanding divine messages that will help you on your life path, such as, ESP, lucid dreaming, connectedness with your guardian angels. So we can definitely utilize this in our reading, hopefully to get understandable and clear messages. Now I'm sure, well, Most of us are probably familiar with rose quartz, and it is a stone of love, and it helps with awakening the heart to loving potential, personal fulfillment, contentment, compassion, peace, tenderness, nourishment, and comfort. Helps with healing of wounds, dispelling fear and suspicion, and helps us hang on to rebirth of hope and faith, which this is a good time of year. On the clock of the world, this is a good time to have something that's helping us with our hope and faith. And our last crystal that we're going to lay near our reading is selenite. Now, selenite you can get in so many different shapes. And this long piece here, like I said, this is a selenite. It's called a selenite wand. And it is good for cleansing and recharging the environment. It helps to remove negative energies from spaces, from other stones. It just really helps with clarity. Thoughts, ideas, visions become more clear. So this is a really nice purifying, cleansing crystal to have always for all kinds of things. Okay, so like I said, we're going to focus on my word of the year, which is balance. And I haven't even written anything underneath it. My last reading, I did a personal reading, and that's how I came up with this word. If you take a look in your Lineages of Change Tarot book, there is a section in the back that tells you how to create a tarot profile. And you do it using numerology. And when I did my last reading, my card, which is called Your Opening Act, or Primary Lifetime card, I think it is called, our Primary Lifetime card, fell right out. Fell right out and let me know, yes, I'm talking to you. So, and then when I looked it up, one of the keywords was balance. And I was thinking about using the word balance anyway. So it was just confirmation. So anyway, here we are at balance. But I have not written anything about what that actually is going to look like. So that's where this reading comes in. It's a full moon. It's a great time to get this additional information. So I have already shuffled and cut the deck. I was spending some time earlier, like, just to get to know your deck, the feel of it. Sometimes I just sit and shuffle it, It also helps to kind of loosen it up a little bit. So I'm just taking our three cards off the top here. Like I said, I had already shuffled and I had already cut for today. So let's see what we have. So feel free to take notes, revisit this often, take what you need, leave the rest. If it doesn't apply, pass it on by or whatever. These are not meant to be individual readings. It is more of a collective reading. So you may want to do your own reading about balance or about a keyword, but I'm asking specifically of the universe and the moon and all the powers and the divine energy that works for our greater good to let us know what we need to know about balance. What do we need to know about balance? What at this full moon do we need to know about balance? Oh, that's interesting. I pulled this card the other day. The divine force of fire. I pulled this card the other day, and what's interesting is it refers to the need for centered leadership, self-aware leadership. Let me just grab the book here. It says, and this was what I felt was so significant, because this particular card refers to centered leadership is what creates what the world needs. We have to be aware of ourselves, be aware of your strengths, your limitations, your needs, and your offers. That is what's going to allow you to function in balance with all of existence. Honor the sacred alchemy of your own gifts. And then there's also, I don't read reverses. I do consider the reverse meaning in every card. So the reverse, or to be considered, is, are you pouring out all your activity while you need to be practicing stillness? There is an epic power in rest, reception, and letting urgency run ahead while you keep moving at the pace right for you. How do you honor your wholeness? So again, we're talking about balance, and it's asking, how are you honoring your wholeness? Like, are you way off in, one direction or the other, or outwardly facing and never internally facing? Or are you always in your head and never in the real world? So the herb that goes along with this is black pepper. Now we know black pepper, that's, very actiony because it's warm, it's strong. It can get rid of what you don't need. It's, it's a seasoning, so it's bringing the flavor. You can also use it for purifying, and of course you can use it for cooking, and it spices things up. So black pepper. And what else I found interesting about this card, here, let me share this with you in the book, because this is the time of Zora Neale Hurston this month. We're coming on her transition date, which happened at the end of January. And she was born on January 7th. So I do a lot of reading and work around Zora Neale Hurston at this time of year. And I love this quote. Sometimes I feel discriminated against, but it doesn't make me angry. It merely astonishes me. How can any deny themselves the pleasure of my company? It's beyond me. I love that. And that is from How It Feels to Be Colored Me. Okay, let's look at our next card here. The Tower. Interesting. Now, I love the imagery of this particular tower. I'm not sure, is this figure sleeping and dreaming or thinking? The imagery above almost appears like a sketch. It's not quite in full detail, but it definitely is chaotic energy. There is a tower, like a traditional tower card of tarot. And the expression on this person's face seems to be that of worry or contemplation, or maybe even resignation. I'm not sure. Let's see what we can dig a little more into this. But I will say that the Tower card is necessary. Change is coming. It may be swift. It may be like the rug being pulled, but it is necessary. necessary. It can feel like destruction. It can feel like things falling apart. It can feel like the sudden realization that you have outgrown a situation, a person, a dream, a goal, or a bad situation, or a routine way of doing a thing. Maybe it's time for you to do something different. It is about change, all kinds of changes, foundational, plans, identity, reputation, relationships. It could be unexpected and maybe out of your control. You don't have to pretend to enjoy it, but the sooner you accept it, the sooner you'll be able to find your path toward life in the rubble. Now, in reverse, or for additional contemplation, it could be that you're resisting change. That's not only inevitable, but necessary. Are you trying to meditate in a burning building? Are you trying to move down a path that ends in a chasm? And then the question is, how quickly can you relinquish the illusion of control? How does that relate to balance? That's so interesting, you know, about centered leadership. And, you know, I talked earlier about that pendulum swinging frantically. It's interesting that it mentions relinquishing control. How does that relate to balance? You know, maybe there's a balance of what you can control and what you can't, and acknowledging that and knowing that it may be uncomfortable, but that is a form of balance. Oh, you know what comes to mind for me in this? I don't know necessarily about the Tower card yet, but one time, I don't remember when I learned this, but one time I was told the saying that when you meet people more than halfway, that you are taking away from them their ability to show up halfway. That's a nice way of saying you're doing too much. You know what I mean? But like, we be showing up 100%, 110%. I do sometimes. Doing too much, and not operating within balance, allowing people to meet you halfway or to reciprocate. Expect the reciprocation. Expect and require the balance, the equal participation, the equal contribution. And this may be saying that when you start requiring that, some stuff may fall apart. Some stuff is not set up to be balanced. And maybe we're moving away from those imbalanced situations. But on the clock of the world, that is looking it's looking like how we might be feeling about some things that are coming up, these outcomes, like thinking about what is going to happen. Are we going to be able to stay in what we're doing, and what do we need to do to navigate these new situations? And that can be very scary, and that can be off-putting, and it can be angering, but it could also be an opportunity. It could also be a chance to do something new, go someplace new, do something different. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, beautiful card. Is that not a beautiful card? You know, I'm still getting to know the imagery of this deck. Look at this, how beautiful. This looks like a collage work. And isn't it? It is just gorgeous. And let's see. So this is another fire card. So fire cards are wands in the traditional tarot deck. And let's see what this Ten of Fire has to say. I'm trying to remember what the Ten of Wands even looks like. Sometimes sometimes some of these I know very well. Oh, you know what I didn't talk about? I'm sorry. I didn't talk about the herb that's associated with the Tower card. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the Tower card for a moment. Nettles. Oh, nettles. Okay, here we have nettles. Nettles. Now, why this is so interesting is nettles are just foundational support. They're full of vitamins and minerals and offer foundational support. They also have a sting to them. They have a sting, and if you harvest them the wrong way, they will sting you. It's a little bit to go into right here about how the sting works, but they're also a natural antihistamine, so they help you breathe better. But they can represent growing pains, beneficial change, painful, but foundational nourishment. It's almost like you got to get through this part. You're going to have to get through this part. We're going to have to get through this part. Okay. Back to the Ten of Fire. So what I want to do is just add that fire or wands, the suit of wands. In this, it's fire, and it is the world of our creative ideas, our creativity, invention, movement, becoming, the kind of energy that transforms, transformation. Some parts of transformation involve destruction and rebuilding. So that is something to keep in mind with this reading that we have here that is about balance. What we need to know about balance in the world right now. Now this card here talks about accomplishments, stress, excess activity, burnout, carrying a heavy load for a long time. Carrying a heavy load for a long time. We can get a sore back, sore shoulders, and can't even see beyond the burden. And we are under the weight of our own choices. And it's asking us to, how do we carry our abundance or our choices sustainably? Are we working beyond our capacity? Like, have we made commitments to decisions that push you beyond your capacity? Oh, this question right here. Are you scared of what would happen if you just took on enough and did it well? Ooh, 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 ooh. That's such a good message around balance. The question on this card is, how do you ask for help? And how do you respect your own capacity? Now, I know we struggle with this. I know we struggle with this. So it feels like, okay, it feels like this first card here is asking you to be centered in your leadership. And this feels like, I don't know if I can do all that because I think the world's going to fall apart if I don't carry this entire burden. Like, what's going to happen if I'm not carrying the burden? How do I know what's going to happen? How will I know who's going to do it if I don't do it? Who's going to do it if I don't do it? So, okay. The flower, the herb is echinacea. It's around healing, observing, strengthening, pleasure, and support. And I love this quote from Earthseed. You use all the manure that has been thrown on you, and you use it as fertilizer. Earthseed National Visionary Leadership Project Awards speech. All right, people. Ooh, I just feel like there's a lot here for this full moon. I feel like we're really being asked to consider how we keep choosing or signing up for the burnout, the overloading, and what it does to us. And that we're going to be okay. We're going to say no. We're going to start saying no. And it may feel like the world is falling apart. They may want to have you think the world is going to fall apart if you say no. But you know what? It's not. It's not. It's not. We're going to show up for ourselves and we're going to be in balance. We're going to ask for help. Now, I know that's difficult. So I'm already coming up with an action plan, some stuff I need to journal about here. So this is my question, my ask for you in this full moon. 1, are there areas of your life that you feel are out of balance? 2, to the best of your ability, can you determine why they're out of balance or how they got out of balance? 3, is there something you can do to pull back or reframe your participation in a situation that's out of balance? And 4, is there someone you can call on? Are there members of the team? Are there members of the friend group or family that need or want to step in and carry part of the load, our load, so that it's more evenly balanced? Okay, I would love to know your feedback on all of this. I haven't really done these kinds of readings before. I really enjoyed this one. I hope you did too. It got kind of long there. So we'll see. I really enjoyed the addition of the crystals and working with, of course, the Lineages of Change tarot deck. And I thought we got us a nice, powerful, oops, why is it not in focus? Can you focus for me, please? Yeah, got us a nice, powerful reading. You could do the same thing. Now, this was just an overview reading. If you decide to do a 3-card reading, there are a number of ways you can do it. You could do past, present, future. You could do 30, 60, 90 days. You can always assign your own place, position, meaning to a card. You just need to know what it is. And sometimes you may need help formulating a good question, because you don't want it so close-ended that you get stuck in it, and you don't want it so open that it's just too vague. That just comes with practice. Anyway, so today I just asked for a general overview, more like a sentence or a snapshot of what we need to know right now about balance. We need to be centered in our leadership, aware of our strengths, talents, gifts. We need to consider, do we believe that everything's going to fall apart if we step out and into our balance? And if it does, is that a necessary part of the process? Because we're carrying this burden is too much. We're over-carrying the burden. And we need to either ask for help, only do what we're comfortable or capable, what's in our capacity to do, and learn how to feel satisfaction, pleasure, and pride in honoring ourselves in that way. Okay? Sending much love to you all. Happy full moon, or whenever you get this, because whenever you get it is when you need it. Take what you need, leave the rest. Until I see you in the next video, take care.